Hey everyone, Sky here, and if you'd like to know how I made these acrylic invitations for my wedding, keep watching. For this DIY, you're going to need some high-tech tools. First one being Adobe Illustrator. If you don't have Illustrator, you can hire someone on Upwork to make the file for you or ask a friend. You're bound to know at least one person who owns the software. It's really easy to make this file. Go to New, in inches, create the size invitation that you want. So I have mine at 5 by 7. And using the type tool, create the text that you want in the font that you want. And that's pretty much it. You can even add shapes and symbols, kind of like the lines that I created here in mine. But I just kept mine really simple. The last thing you have to do, the most important step, is to create the outline. So select your text, then go to Type, Create Outline. You'll see that the program turns the text into vectors, which means each letter is outlined. This tells the laser where to cut. Once you have your file, your technician will load it into his own software that communicates with the machine. Shout out to Maxwell Ace who did all the cutting for me. Most of you won't know someone who has a laser cutter just lying around, but you can find a local shop in your area that can do it for you, or you can find someone on Etsy.com. It will cost you more though than if you were to do all these things by yourself, but you won't go through the trouble of making the file and sourcing the material. If you're in the Toronto area, an affordable place to grab the sheets of acrylic from is Plastic World in North York. They're the only ones in the area that will sell sheets pre-cut to the size you need, and they don't require that you buy a minimum. I'll link the info in the description box below. Depending on the batch of plastic, some will have a transparent film versus a paper film on top that protects the acrylic from getting scratched. I'm using a 2mm thick acrylic here. The thicker the sheet, the longer the machine will take to cut it, so it will cost you a little more in time. This is what it looks like after it's been cut from a sheet. It still has the plastic film over it. And this is what it looks like with the film removed. It's so shiny and the engraving is so beautiful. Now it's time to add some personal and colorful touches. This is my favorite part. You're going to need a couple things for this next step: flat brushes in different sizes and the paint colors you want to use. I'm using acrylic paint because it will dry the fastest and it only makes sense on an acrylic surface. If you're going to embed gold leaf like I am, you will also need a gloss medium. I have here the Speedball Metal Leaf Sealer, but you can use any acrylic medium that dries clear and glossy. This one happens to have a low viscosity, so it'll be easier to spread thinly versus some thicker gloss mediums. I've set up my workspace, just simply a magazine to lay the acrylic on, and so I don't get paint on my marble table, a second piece of magazine to use as a palette, a paper towel, and a small basin of water for cleaning brushes. You're going to want to work on the back of the invitation, so turn it over, and with a pair of tweezers, grab a piece of gold leaf and lay it on the invitation where you want it to be. Now grab your acrylic medium and a medium flat brush. Taking a small amount of the product, brush it over the leaf. You can simply do 1 or 2 passes, just enough to cover and embed the leaf, but if you want to keep going, the brush will break the leaf apart into smaller pieces, and then you can move them around however you want. Make sure the coat is thin. You don't want it to be too thick because it will dry that way and you will feel a bump. Now it's time to grab a snack and let it dry. Honestly, I don't remember how long this took, probably a couple hours, but I waited until the next day because I had other things to do anyway. The medium would have dried completely clear, however, if you see brush marks, don't worry. Now, grab your paint and squeeze out a small amount on your palette. Use a larger flat brush for the color. You want the brush to be wider than the marks you made with the acrylic medium so that it covers it completely. I'm wetting the brush and wiping the excess off on the paper towel. Dabbing it into the paint, I'm confidently making my mark on the invitation. You can definitely go back if you make a mistake. You can clean it off and make a new mark, but it's kind of a pain in the butt. Go with your gut, revive the Jackson Pollock in you, and lay it out. You got this. Once you place the color behind the clear gloss medium, all the marks are swept away, just like magic. It will look perfect, as if you had never embedded the leaf in the first place. If you can still see traces of the medium on the sides, maybe you missed a spot when you laid your color down, don't worry. You can always layer the color again, or maybe use a different color. The possibilities are endless. And there you go! Add colors wherever you want them, however you want them. I was going for something a little more minimalistic with mine, but you can be extra if you want. Pair them with a beautiful envelope. I will link where I got these in the description below. Your friends and family will love how beautiful these invitations are, how personal they are, and will hopefully keep them out of the trash because they are little works of art that came from the heart. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comments below and subscribe for more. I make videos about all sorts of things you might like too. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!